begin.
Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to this episode of Fit at Home. And Chris and I are just here to talk about what is, I think, closest to my heart. No need to exercise, no need to work so hard. It's really about sleep and detox.
Uh, I think we've had several series before that, all right? That focus on exercise, like how to build muscle, how to burn fat. But that's a lot of the doing stuff. But actually, like, what do we like? The flip side of it is really the sleep and detox. Which many people don't necessarily factor in terms of wellness and fitness lifestyle plan, especially during this time. So yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
myself.
So I get the pleasure of talking about sleep. And one of the first things I wanted to say was that sleep is just as important as diet and exercise. And actually, especially when you do strength workout, you will know that the workout itself is to stress the muscle, but the muscle grows when it is resting. So between the workout, that's actually when you get the muscle growth. But the other thing about it is that, the other point I put here was that rest is not sleep, you know, and today we're talking about sleep. One of the things is that I think we are very big on rest, right? We go on vacations, we like to chill by the by the swimming pool, or chill on the beach, or chill in front of the TV each evening. So we have a lot of rest activities, but rest is not sleep. And so what happens is that quite often, many of us, we have quite a lot of rest, but we don't have enough sleep, right? So do have more sleep, okay? And of course, what's the difference? Because actually during sleep, the brain gets to reset itself, it reorganizes its memories, it recharges itself, it detoxifies, it clears itself out. And that's why a lot of people, after you wake up, sometimes you're refreshed and sometimes you have new ideas, right? So that's how important um, sleep is. Okay. Of course, in general, healthy adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So, let's share about sleep here. Chris?
Um, yeah, so I think definitely like what Jeff mentioned, I think sleep is super important. And what he mentioned, so it helps with recovery, it helps with repair, and it helps with detox. Yeah, so I think these are one of the three of the essential functions when it comes to sleep. And generally for myself, I also find that like the difference between, so I could have done after exercise, I like before I exercise, could I go to the gym, how much I sleep actually really impacts my performance, and how strong I feel. Yeah, that's how I
Mm,
feel myself.
mm. Maybe each one just encourage you to put in the chat, how much sleep are you getting in the night? And do you want more? Or you feel that you are very disciplined and you have enough, you know? Okay. And I think that's just an important thing. And why do we need more sleep? Sometimes we think that you sleep and you grow fat, right? Actually, is the opposite is true. Science shows that if you have lack of sleep, you grow fat.
Mm.
Yeah, the interesting facts, right? We're trying to give you good value here. Okay. And of course, you can see why. Because there is this appetite regulating hormone that the production of that lowers when you don't have enough sleep. Okay. So sleep is so important. And then another interesting fact is that the body never adjusts to shift work. Hi, Florence. I think Florence used to do a lot of shift work. And and it's interesting that of course, the body can adapt. You can adapt to working 5 nights of shift. You can even adapt your sleeping arrangements so that you can do the graveyard shift, right? But biologically, physically, your body actually never adjusts. Okay, it is fixed on the circadian rhythm, okay, which is sun. Then the final fact is that, you know, age, we don't sleep as well. And one of the and the explanation is that with age, the level of growth hormone that we produce drops. Okay, and so the deep sleep decreases, and then that we also produce less melanin, and then melatonin, and then melanin is a pigment, right? Melatonin, and the shortage of melatonin causes a more fragmented sleep. Okay, so what can we do about it? Okay, there's lots to do. As you know, you just have to just Google sleep and you get a million ideas, right? So I just want to help you sift through some of these ideas, especially if you're one of the older people who feel that you know, your sleep quality has decreased. Okay, I used to struggle. I think 50s, I was like in my early 50s, I was waking up maybe twice a night, sometimes 4 times in the night. Drove me crazy, you know, and I seldom slept more than 6 hours. Okay, but I've got good news. Later you'll see that I'm sleeping quite a lot these days. Okay, so sleep improvement factors. The first thing is sleeping pills reduce sleep quality, and actually can create dependence on sleeping pills. So you might use it because, I don't know, jet lag or just one sudden bout of insomnia, but uh, just be really careful about use of it. Okay, so what can we do? Exercise. Okay, fit at home. Remember, exercise during the day improves your sleep. Okay, social engagement is actually important too, especially at this time of isolation, circuit breaker and all that. um, uh, I guess that's when we all need to come onto the phone and to Zoom and really have some social engagement. Okay. Sunlight is another very easy one. I think women tend to avoid sunlight generally. And the older we are, of course, you know, because of our weather, hot, we try not to go out into the sun, right? We don't want to get dark. You know, but the sunlight, because we are of the circadian rhythm, sunlight really helps. Jump in anytime you want, you know, Chris, if you have anything to add.
Sure.
And then, of course, there's this thing about the emotion. So this one, I just wanted to say that, you know, sometimes we think that emotional issues like stress, worry, anger lower our sleep. So maybe sometimes we try to do, we try to not worry, we try not to be angry. We say, okay, I don't want to work because I don't want to be stressed. You know, I don't want to serve in church because I don't want to be stressed. But I just wanted to say that the way to improve the sleep, yes, it is to avoid stress, but a more active measure maybe is to seek out calm, to seek out peace, to be centered, to be focused, to be mindful, you know, and that actually helps us to center down, and then we get peace. I hope that makes sense.
Maybe I can just jump in
Sure.
a few things. So like, okay. Why don't you finish your last point, then I'll.
The last point, of course, was that naps can actually affect sleep. So, you know, I used to be big on napping. Then, of course, my sleep quality was not so high, so I would avoid napping. But you know what I found was really important was that it's okay to nap, but keep the naps to half an hour or bit or less. And in fact, if you can keep the naps, definitely keep it within 45 minutes. It is quite safe to nap when you're tired. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Chris, what were you gonna say?
yeah, I was just going to say these are excellent points. Thanks, Jeff, for these points. I just want to mention a couple of things regarding like sunlight and exercise during the day. So for me personally, I mean, if let's say you've got issues with your sleep, you know, you're experiencing some mild insomnia, you know, and you're like, okay, you know, let me add in exercise into my schedule, especially when you haven't been doing. I think one thing that I have experienced is that sometimes you want to make sure that your exercise is a couple of hours before you sleep, because actually the exercise can make you awake at night. So that's one thing in terms of scheduling your exercise. Another thing is that when you exercise, sometimes it makes you, like for me, sometimes I go on long runs, it actually makes me feel more awake at night. So as your body finds a rhythm, so note that all these suggestions are not one-time quick fixes, but really adjusted lifestyle schedule that will bear fruits when you apply it over long term. Yeah. So
Mm.
just to keep in mind that. Yeah, and definitely like if your sleep schedule is wonky, like you sleep at 4 a.m. kind of thing, you know, and not getting the optimum amount of rest, because some of your sleep crosses into the morning time when there's sunlight. That initial adjustment into an ideal sleeping time will obviously cause some disruption in your sleep, but press in, press on, and you'll find your breakthrough.
Yep, yep. I like that. Okay, so I found this which I thought was really interesting, and I wanted to bring it up for for you to check. And that actually exercise in the day is one of the best things for sleep in the night. Okay, so this study was on middle-aged and older adults who were diagnosed with insomnia. Yeah, and when they exercised with 20-minute sessions only, okay, maybe 4 times a week, you know, they've and of course you can see that they would exercise such that they would get up to 75% of their maximum heart rate. Okay, so let's say you are 60, your maximum heart rate should be about 160. Okay, so 75% of that, maybe 130, 135. Okay, and but what they found was that when they did this, at least 2 activities, including walking or stationary bicycle, they found that, hey, it improved. Okay, so exercise is one of the best things to do for sleep. Another one that I wanted to show you was this thing actually helped me, and this is an app. Okay, and why it helped me to sleep better was because it would each night I would know how much I'm sleeping, and it kind of made me try to sleep a bit more. Okay, so you can see, for example, on the 31st, I slept pretty well. I met my goal, which is 7 hours. And when I was 50, I hardly slept beyond 6 hours. One of the things was I didn't have the discipline to sleep before midnight. And then the other thing was that the second the sun came out, I would wake up, so I couldn't go back to bed. So it was quite miserable. But so there was a combination of some activities that I did, some purposeful activities that I did, and some nutrition that I took. And then, of course, some discipline that I had to exercise, that helped me. So I just wanted to show you. So it gives me some reports here. Okay, so it will tell me about my, how consistent I am in my sleeping. Okay, and then it would tell me about, say, my heart rate, whether it dips or not. Of course, you want the heart rate to slow down when you are sleeping, but sometimes it doesn't slow down as much. So anyway, it said that mine dipped 22%, so it was good. And then, of course, it tells me what's my average heart rate. But the other thing is that after a while, the app actually sometimes gives some feedback. So, for example, you can see that it said, when you burn at least, that's me, when you burn at least 200 calories from activity during your day, your sleeping heart rate did improves. Okay, so wow, yeah. And this just this morning, it sent me something and says, wow, you seem to have had lower sleep disruption last night than you normally do. What happened, you know? And so it asked me to respond. So sometimes I say, okay, I slept early, or I worked hard, or I took alcohol, or whatever. And you just fill it up, and then it starts to identify it for you. Okay, so that was one of the things that I did. Okay, and so finally, I said I wanted to just share very briefly about some of the nutrients that I took to improve sleep. Right, I mean, I said there was some discipline involved, some exercises that I did in the day. I would walk out in the daylight. You know, I try not to avoid, like, you know, some of us, we only go out early in the morning, or we go out late in the evening. We don't want to walk on the road during the noon and all that. But I would do a little bit of that. Okay, but anyway, down to nutrients, just want to show you that actually there were 3 classes of things that I would take. The first, of course, was a foundation nutrition. Okay, so that means bao ka liao lah, huh? It's like your everyday thing. Okay, and we have something called Life Pack Nano. And why Life Pack Nano is particularly powerful is that, of course, beyond having something like 40 minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, it also has got coenzyme Q10, which is very important for brain health. And so it improves sleep, and then it improves the brain health. And so it paves the way for better sleep, you know, in the future. And then there's this thing called the anti-aging duo. We have 2 items here. One is Y-span and one is R-square. Y-span is particularly, is good for everyone, okay? But as a guy, I particularly like Y-span, and that's because Y-span has got something called lycopene. Lycopene actually helps men with prostate enlargement. No, it helps it helps us so that it doesn't wake us up in the night. You know, good prostate health is very important for that. And of course, we have R square. R square, we have a R square day and R square night. The R square day is for more energy, and the R square night is for cellular detox. So it clears out the cells. So, you know, when you clear out the things, you actually have improvement. Then finally, of course, there were some 3 things that I put here, which is cortisol, which is to help cortisone levels in the body. As you know, cortisone actually can disturb sleep. Okay, reishi max, which is 灵芝, okay, which is good for brain health. And then finally, actually probio. Probio is actually a probiotic. You know, and you may be wondering, what does a probiotic, which is for the gut, have to do with sleep, right? Now, more and more, the science is showing that gut health is very important for overall health. Okay, for one thing, the gut produces a lot of serotonin. I know that's hard to imagine, but it does produce serotonin, and that is, of course, the feel good, calm you down hormone in the body. So, you know, when you have good gut health, you can have good rest. Okay, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much, Jeff, on covering sleep. I'll go very quickly into detox. Just 1 second. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. So, so just now Jeff mentioned the benefits of sleep, right? And we are going to go into and focus on zoom in on one of the benefits, which is detox. Okay, which happens when we sleep also. So what exactly is detox? So we just define as detox as the removal of waste or toxins from our cells or from our body. Okay, let's just put it very simply that way, right? So what are some of the benefits of detox? Number 1, it helps us remove toxins and toxins that are accumulated in our body, right? Number 2, it helps also reduce the accumulation of inflammatory compounds such as histamine, you know, and like things that we don't need. So you hear about inflammation this, inflammation that, right? So what's the solution to that? Actually, there is a compound in your body which causes inflammation, and if your body is not removing that specific chemical compound called histamine, what it does is that elevated level of this chemical will cause inflammation to happen around your body. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons. Third, it helps improve cellular efficiency. So what I mean by that is as our cells process and create energy and operate, it creates byproduct, right? Waste byproduct in the cells itself, right? And so when we remove that, our cells operate at a higher efficiency. And what that means is basically it gives us more energy. So if you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling slow, fatigue, one reason could be because your cells are not detoxing properly at a cellular level. Yeah. Okay. And number 4, it helps with increased metabolism and fat burning. Okay. How that happens is basically during fat burning and during metabolism, once again, toxins and free radicals are released. And if your body is not clearing that accumulation of free radicals and toxins, it won't dare to burn more fat, right? And it won't dare to metabolize so much. So these are the benefits of proper good detox happening in your body. Okay. So what are the types of detoxification that we know, right? So I classified it as 4 broad topics. Natural body detoxification, how our body naturally clears toxins and other unwanted substances from our body. Number 2, fasting. Number 3, gut intestinal. You always heard of those like gut detox, when you take this juice or take this drink, and then you flush out kind of thing. Yeah. How does that fit in? Is that detox, and how does that fit in what we're speaking about today, right? And number 4, lymphatic detox. Okay. So what is a natural body detox? So natural body detox, I would define it as like, the biggest detox organ in your body is really the liver. So just as a brief overview, okay, phase, there are 2 or 3 phases in terms of your liver detox, and I'm going to just focus on 2. So phase 1, in your liver detox, what happens is that your enzymes in your liver break down toxins, drugs, pesticides, hormones, or inflammatory chemicals, into simpler forms, right? Into simpler forms for it to be processed even more into a harmless state or removed from the body. Okay, so first one is break down all these harmful materials. The second, but 2 things happen with that breakdown. Number 1, those chemicals actually become more active, right? So in a sense, you can think of it as like, if you want to remove a big glass vase, okay, it can't fit in your rubbish bin, so you have to break that glass vase, right, to fit it in your rubbish bin. But when you break it into smaller pieces, those shards are more pointy and sharper. You get what I mean? Yeah. So the body does the same way. So those small substances are actually more active, right? Number 2, free radicals are released. Okay, so once your body breaks them down into those more active compounds, what happens is phase 2, where those toxins which are broken down already are further neutralized to become harmless, or they are converted into easily transported forms for them to be moved out of the body. Okay, and then in the second part, also the free radicals that are released, right, which are of course harmful for the body, which cause cancer. Free radicals. Those free radicals that was released in the first stage are neutralized in the second stage. Yeah. So just give you a general principle of what happens in your body. So the 2 keys for us, how do you apply? So knowing this, how can you apply to yourself? Number 1, you need to make sure that you have sufficient antioxidants required to neutralize the free radical load. Okay, so as your body is breaking down the toxins, free radicals release, you need the antioxidants to neutralize that. Second one is you need your cells to be working at an optimum level to be producing enough energy, cellular energy, for it to detox and break down those toxins. Okay, because it is energy intensive. Okay, so what's the difference between gut detox and cellular detox? So just very simply, so imagine your body or your cell as a house. Yeah. So cellular detox is taking that rubbish out of your house, or out of the rubbish bin out of your house. Okay, gut detox is clearing the rubbish bin out of your house to remove it outside. So imagine that's a garbage truck. So that's your pooping, that's your, your sweating, removing it out of the way, you're peeing, That is the gut detox. Okay, but ultimately, if your body is not efficient in clearing your rubbish bins at home, clearing the rubbish from in your house and putting it in the rubbish bin for it to be cleared out, right? Then your body can't operate properly. I mean, imagine if you didn't actively clear your rubbish bins or didn't clear your house every day, it will be impossible to work. It's the same thing with your body. Yeah. So so your juice detox and stuff like that is like clearing your outside rubbish bin, right? It's clearing the rubbish bin outside in your house. So it is important for it to be cleared, but really, really the key thing you want to look at and we're focused on today is your cellular detox. What is the state of rubbish accumulation in your house or in your rubbish bin, right? We want to be efficient in moving that outside. Okay, if that's what that's the difference between cellular detox versus those juice cleansers and stuff like that, juice detox and things like that. Yeah, that helps clear our intestines. Okay, so then what is lymphatic detox? I'm not sure whether some of you have heard it before, some of you may have not. So what is the lymphatic system? The lymphatic system is like a blood circulation. It goes around your body, and what is it? It's basically like the sewage system in your body, right? It's the sewage system which all the toxins travel there. Also your immune system, and your tap or your water flow is like your blood circulation. Okay, so 3 functions of your lymphatic system are on your left. Number 1, it helps regulate fluid balance. Number 2, it helps with your immune system. And number 3, it helps fat absorption. Basically, when you digest fat, what happens is that fat is absorbed not directly into your bloodstream, but it's actually absorbed by your lymphatic system. Yeah. And then the lymphatic system distributes it around and your body and distributes it into your bloodstream. Okay. So what happens when we don't have a good lymphatic system is the consequences on the right. Number 1, you have water retention. Number 2, you have poor immunity, and number 3, you actually gain weight because your fat transport in your body is not as efficient. Yeah. So these are some examples of and also of course toxin buildup also. So if you don't have your sewage imagine if your sewage is blocked, your sewage is clogged up, you never clear the food scraps and stuff, it can't flow properly. Okay. And can't move the toxins and flush the toxins away. So these are some examples of people with poor lymphatic issues. You can see there's swelling, you can see there's accumulation of toxins under the skin, there's markings, etc., etc. And you can see that there are actually lymph nodes around your body, where your lymphatic system, that's like a junction, and it's swollen. Yeah. So these are some symptoms of when you can tell that your lymphatic system is actually clogged. Yeah, your sewage system is clogged. Yeah. So we want to make sure that's clear. Yeah, your lymphatic system. And we'll share with you a method after that on how to clear your lymphatic system. Yeah. So that it flows, so that your toxins pass smoothly through your body. Okay, so basic things. So you're saying, okay, Chris, so these are the different methods. So how then do I apply this? How then, I know the benefits, I know the methods, but how then do I enhance my detox? Or improve my body's detoxification. Okay, 3 main categories. Number 1 that I will touch on today. Number 1, sleep cycle. Like what Jeff mentioned just now, that when you sleep, your body detoxes, and there's a prime sleep detox window, right? Which is generally, we say as a rule of thumb, there's some slight variance, but generally it's from 11 to 2 a.m. Right? When your body repairs, recovers, detoxes. So that's a key window that you want to endeavor to try to sleep at, right? So if you sleep outside that window, sure, your body will detox, but it's maybe not as efficient. Okay, so number 1, adjust your sleep cycle to maybe 11 to about 2 a.m. Number 2, exercise. Yeah, so just now, not only would it, so just now Jeff mentioned that it improves sleep. So it doesn't only also improve sleep, but it improves circulation and transport of harmful substances to be processed. Number 3, it helps with nutrition. It helps when you improve your nutrition. So it improves organ and cellular detox efficiency and neutralizes free radicals. Okay. So these are some just more practical tips. Drink more water, eat more antioxidant-rich food and supplements. Make sure you got proper biotics. Limit your toxins intake, and reduce your intake on sugar and processed food. Okay. Just go very quickly down here. These are in terms of nutritional options that you have to enhance your and make sure your organs and your cells are operating at optimal efficiency, this is a life pack. Just now Jeff mentioned already, foundational nutrition with all vitamins. Cellular detox, not only does it help you with your sleep, it helps you bring your body to a more efficient state where it helps process, it helps generate enough energy such your body is easier to clean your house. Yeah, it's more efficient in cleaning your house, getting rid of the detox. Right, so this is super powerful. We don't have time now, but you can ask more in the Q&A. Okay, and finally, and the third option we have is TR90. Okay, it helps like an overall systemic overhaul. Okay, and also we have got a galvanic spa. So this is essential in lymphatic drainage and detox. Yeah, so this really helps. It uses a small galvanic current which enhances the flow of your